Yo, what is good guys? Back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my honest thoughts and opinions on someone or something going on in this wacky weird world called professional wrestling. Guys, you can tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my thoughts and opinions on Daniel Garcia, Red Death. Daniel Garcia, to be exact. I don't think he uses the nickname Red Death anymore, but he'll always be Red Death Daniel Garcia. For myself personally, before I share my thoughts and opinions on him, would love to know what your thoughts are on Garcia down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. And when it comes to Garcia, he is one of those guys where first time I seen him, I knew that there was something special about this guy. It was, I'm pretty sure it's still here on YouTube somewhere, but Smash Wrestling, which is a Toronto/London, Ontario indie promotion, and they did a video kind of hyping up Daniel Garcia. In that promo, I'm like, yo, there's something, like I said, special about this guy. And I can't remember the exact time when he made his debut, but he made his debut the first half of 2017, and that video was like the last half of 2017. Again, I don't remember dates off the top of my head and whatnot, but ever since then, I'm like, I'm gonna follow this guy's career. I thought that because this was still a year and a half before AEW really began, kind of deal, or at least officially began, kind of deal and whatnot, that I thought his ceiling would be either a super indie guy kind of deal, or go over to New Japan kind of deal, kind of depending on which way he would have went. Like if he would have stayed in North America, one of the biggest names on the indie scene kind of deal. That's what I thought his ceiling was. Or be one of the top foreign guys in New Japan kind of deal and whatnot, just based off of his style of wrestling and how he carried himself and still kind of does and whatnot. Then, beginning of 2019, AEW officially started, and I think in that year or so, like 2018, 2019 time period, he made a couple of appearances on WWE, like 205 Live, NXT, kind of deal, and then one thing led to another, and signed with AEW in I think in 2021. I could be wrong about that kind of deal, but he is one of those guys where, like, yeah, it would have been cool to see him either do full-time in WWE or full-time in New Japan. I'm not saying that either one of those cannot happen, but him with AEW/ROH is just like that right spot for Garcia in 2023 kind of deal. Again, I don't know what he wants out of pro wrestling kind of deal and whatnot, but he is one of those guys where for right now, AEW's the right spot kind of deal and all of that stuff. He's still relatively young. I want to say he's like 24. I could be wrong about that though. Like, he's early to mid 20s kind of deal, and he's, in my opinion, so gosh darn good kind of deal. Like, easily favorite match of his was him versus Bryan Danielson on Dynamite a while back ago now, but it's still one of those things where, like, yeah, like, he wrestled in front of like 50 people locally to where I live just a short couple of years ago, before like 2018, 2019 kind of deal. And now I see, in a way, seen him wrestle in the I think it was KeyBank Arena in Buffalo kind of deal, first a Niagara Center, whatever that venue is called, winning the ROH Pure Championship on AEW, on international TV in his hometown, or pretty much hometown, of Buffalo. And not gonna lie, when he won, I might have shed a couple of tears. But when it comes to Garcia, he's one of those guys where, similar to other people on the roster, where if you would come up to me and say, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Garcia, I'm just not feeling it, I can kind of understand why, because his style of wrestling isn't the cup of tea for everybody, which I totally understand. There's other styles of wrestling I'm not a big fan of that are relatively popular, kind of deal, and whatnot. But yeah, for myself personally, he is one of those guys where I have whether he's a bad guy or a good guy, I'll always, in the back of my head, cheer for him, because granted, he's from the US, but he would wrestle, like I mentioned earlier, in front of people, or 50 people, locally to where I live, kind of deal, and whatnot. And just in early 2019, if I remember right, him, Blackwood, Bennett, and Puff were a part of a very serious car accident kind of deal, going from in the state of New York, but going from Montreal, I think it was Montreal, to New York, and whatnot. And knowing that all four guys are still wrestling nowadays, or relatively recently, I should say, is super cool. And Garcia, he, just like seeing him wrestle is like makes my cold Canadian heart a little bit warmer, kind of deal, and whatnot. But yeah, that is it for this video. Gonna be a fan. Definitely gotta buy one of his shirts one day, or an 8x10 if I ever do see him wrestle again, in person, that is, and whatnot. But yeah, that is it for this video. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly, hope you guys are doing okay mentally, emotionally, and physically.
The world that we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. Do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's